Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to This War of Mine. Now, I just want to talk about, for a start, the 1.2 update to This War of Mine, which introduced a couple of really nice things, and also what we're going to do with This War of Mine on the channel. So, This War of Mine update 1.2 brought us a couple of things that people have been really wanting, and one of my biggest complaints about This War of Mine, which wasn't that big a complaint to be honest, was you would see a lot of the events, you play with some of the characters and you'd be like, okay, there's not a lot of replayability. But now there is. 1.2 adds a few things. Now, it adds some new NPC-type animations, and I think it does some slight tweaks to some of the quests or something. But the main two things it adds are, if we go to another try, this. So now, instead of just always being a random team, you now get to pick your team, and you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different teams, different makeups of characters. You can't pick characters like and just go, okay, I want you, and I want you, and I want... You have to pick them as a team, because I think there are certain restrictions on their dialogue. But it makes sense. I mean, you know, some of the characters might not get in with other characters. So this actually allows you to, you know, basically get up to 7 different squads who have different interactions, different gameplay mechanics, because you'll be playing them different ways because of how they synergize together. And this is a really nice feature. It allows you to get a bit more playability out of it. So if we pick someone, let's just pick someone pretty boring for now. You know, the normal Catch Your Bruno Pav start. Loading. We should get... Aha! The new house. So yes, there is an entirely new house that you start in. It's fairly similar, but there are a few differences. It looks a lot more ramshacked. It's not quite so in the suburbs or whatever. It seems a bit more like... Sorry, it's not quite in the city. It's quite in the sort of suburbs. It's sort of a lot of greenery out there. As you can see, that there is a slightly different layout, and it's got a lot more holes in the roof, which I guess isn't that nice. And I believe if we... yep, awesome. Outside, there is a tree house, which obviously makes this one far better. I was already waiting just to show you the tree house, because that's pretty awesome. So, this adds another layer of replayability in that, you know, you have a completely different house. It's not completely different. It has a lot of things that are similar. You know, the fridge is, you know, in the kitchen, which is 1 room in from the entrance. There are, you know, 2 up, there are 2 down. That's all fairly familiar and, you know, nothing radically different there. But the new layout and the new sort of background do add to the nice feeling of not getting so stale. It does allow a bit more youth and vibrance to your playthroughs, at least. So far, you know, there's nothing drastically different in terms of, you know, crazy new stuff. But this is a pretty big update. Now, this update doesn't, of course, change any core gameplay things. It's really just a very nice, minor changes to how you'd play the game or whatever. So you've got, you know, the squads that you haven't played already, you'll play as them, and you'll play in the new location, which, for most intents and purposes, is pretty much like the old location, except, you know, looks slightly different, and it's got a tree house and a tire swing, which is obviously great, right? That'll make people happy. And this is something I was thinking about. Do I want to do another playthrough? And the answer, I think, is yes. I think maybe the Renegade playthrough that we talked about, where you have to make all the dickish options, would be a great idea. But I have played a lot of it back to back, and I'm kind of thinking that I could maybe do it now. I'm kind of like, okay, I've had a little bit, like a couple of weeks off. Maybe we could do a playthrough. But I'm kind of thinking that I would be still a little bit too fresh from that hardcore, like, back to back, lots and lots of playthrough of it. And maybe I need to give it a little bit longer. So I think maybe sometime in January. Like early January, once a couple of the other series that are currently going on, something like the EU4 series or something like RimWorld, once one of those stops, which probably won't be that long actually. I know EU4 is probably only going to get maybe 12 to 20 more episodes. Then I think we'll do This War of Mine again, because, you know, it kind of makes sense. We did the Paragon side. I think it's only fair that we do the Renegade side. I mean, you know, it's all swings and balances, checks. You know, I think the karma needs to be balanced there. I think we need to be evil. And with this update, there'll be, you know, a fair few more things to see. Now, nothing crazy gameplay-wise, nothing changes drastically there, but there'll certainly be, you know, a new group we can try out, and we can also have the nice new aesthetic of this house. And, of course, Tire Swing really helps on that one. Possibly, we'll see another update. I don't know what that really has in store for us, but it'd be nice to see if we have something else crazy come out. But for now, I've been EnterElysium, just letting you know that update 1.2, which came out a few days ago, is pretty awesome. And hopefully to see more of this stuff in the new year. Of course, I also can't do a series right now because I am actually going away for Christmas for a week. And I'm having trouble getting all the things up my internet pipe as it is. My internet pipe is a very small pipe, and there's a lot to put up the pipe. So, I'm kind of limited in that one. But hopefully in January we'll see a new playthrough as well. So, until next time, I've been EnterElysium, and stay shiny.